Isn't she lovely? And now I finally had a chance to shoot it. So let's get into that. Alright guys, in my last video I showed you how to put all of this stuff together. I got the extended mag, I've got basically this entire lower end put on here, which was very easy to do. You can watch that video if you'd like. However, in this video I finally got to shoot it, and I want to do a quick little review and tell you how well or how not well this performed, in my opinion, as just your average consumer. And if you guys didn't watch that first video, then you do know what this weapon is, and I really don't want to say it because there's always someone that's saying that the pronunciation's wrong. So it's the Rossi, whatever you want to call it, or Mossberg because it's made by the same company, but we're just going to call it the RS22 because it's the RS22. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, besides its gorgeous nature and amazing feel, that's not what we're going for here. I took this to the range, put a few hundred rounds to it, and what are my impressions? Damn good. For a $100 rifle, of course without the lower end stuff, but that doesn't affect the rifle itself. For a $100 rifle, this thing is amazing. And if you ever watch any other reviews, which I'm sure you have if you're watching mine because I'm not a big YouTuber, you know that this is a good rifle. It is accurate, it is quiet, it is very reliable. I had zero issues. I had zero misfires. Nothing. I had no issues with this rifle. I took my pistol out. You can watch that video if you'd like, but I put my pistol out there. Very good pistol. I had one misfire with it, and a few things that I didn't really like about it could be improved. Again, just my opinion. But with this one, I got nothing. It's perfect. Well, no, I do have one. Here is my single dislike for the RS22. The sights. Now the sights themselves, don't get me wrong, they're fantastic. I love them. They're little fiber optic looking things. You got the one down here, the two greens. Amazing. What I'm saying is, from the factory, out of the box, it is not sighted in properly. Mine was stupidly high. The elevation was off. The windage was perfect. It was right down the center. I found out this the hard way. Everyone said this is a very accurate rifle. So I sat on the deck, which was probably about 150 to 200 meters away. And I thought, hey, it'd be cool if I could hit the target. Not trying to hit bullseye, but just hit the paper target that I had out on the tree. Shot it, miss. Okay. Shot it again, miss. Shot it again, miss. I wasn't hitting anywhere. I'm like, okay, I'm no professional. I'm not the greatest shot in the world. I'll move a little bit closer. So I came in about 50 meters, miss, miss. Came in to about 50 to 75 meters away, shot, and I finally got one shot on that paper target, and it was all the way at the top. So there's a little dial on top of here, and I cranked it, shot it, cranked it, shot it, and finally got that target to go down on where I was shooting, and finally got it to the bullseye, moved back about 100 yards, shot it again. I was still right there on the bullseye, went back up on the porch, shot it, dead center, perfect. So it is very accurate. You just have to make sure you sight it in first. Unlike my pistol, which out of the box, it is dead center perfect. This one, not so much. Make sure you sight it in. And something that made an impression on me when I went to the range was how quiet this is. Yes, I know it's a rifle. It's gonna be quieter than a pistol, such as my Ruger here. This is the SR22, not the RS22. That's going to get confusing. I'll probably mess it up in this video. But the SR22, this pistol, which is a 22, shoots the exact same ammo as this one does. However, this one is deafeningly loud. Just terrible. And this one, you don't even need hearing protection. You can pop off some rounds. Yeah, it's a little loud, but no more than someone clapping their hands really loud next to your face. It is a quiet rifle. There's basically no kickback on it because it's a 22. This is the perfect range gun, and I got this one for a range gun, and it is, except for the noise, because you have to wear hearing protection. You can't just go out there and have some fun. You got to make sure you have hearing protection, the whole shebang, which is a little poopy, but other than that, it was fine. But we're back to this one now. It is fantastic. It's so fantastic. Now, I both shot this one for accuracy, and I also did a rapid fire with this one just to see if it would jam, to see how accurate it would be. I shot it slow, I shot it fast. No matter how you shoot it, it works, and it works well. But other than that, there's not a whole lot else to talk about for this rifle because it is so simplistic. It is accurate, it is quiet, it's easy to use. I would say the downside, not shooting the gun, but the downside is when you field strip this to clean it, which is, I just cleaned this. That's going to be a separate video on how to take it apart. It's not like my handgun over here. I can't just pop it apart, clean it out, put it back together, field strip. This one you actually need to have tools with you, especially if you have this one. You're going to need an Allen along with a Phillips head screwdriver to take this all off, then to get in here, and then you need a punch to get out 2 pins to get inside to clean it. So it's not the most user-friendly to get inside and clean this out, but it's easy once you do get into it. And I know you all are going to ask me, since I put this on, this isn't the standard stock that's supposed to be on it. I loved everything about this, and I know a lot of people are going to be talking about the extended magazine. There have been issues with this extended magazine. People talking about issues it not firing, it jamming, you name it. This fits the gun with or without the lower. So you don't need this lower that I put on here, the stock that I put on here. You don't need that. You can just have the regular one with this extended magazine. The issue that I had with this magazine is just getting the rounds in. Once you get to about 10, sometimes 15, it becomes stupidly hard to get rounds in here, and you just have to have an auto loader. So you have to have something like this or like this. This is the one that actually came with I can't remember which one this came with. It came with one of the pistol or the rifle. I can't remember, but this is just one that came with it. This is another one that the Uplula, I did a review video on this one. I love this one. It's so easy, but it's not for this caliber. So this just fits right on top, and you just put the round in and you push it down. This one works very well. However, the little piece here on the inside is not long enough. So yes, it does work when you're putting rounds in, but once it starts getting really hard, it'll dent your round. So I suggest definitely getting something not just a piece of plastic, and if it was, make sure that little arm's bigger, because you need to have one of those to be able to push 25 rounds into this thing. No questions asked. My spring is good, it's nice and loose. I have no issues with it, it is lubed up, but once you get, like I said, to about 10, 15 rounds, you cannot do it by hand anymore. You have got to have something to shove these in. However, once you get these in and you start firing them off, I had no issues. Zero. None to speak of. No, like I said, no misfires, no double feeding, nothing. I had no issues. So my experience with this extended mag has been 0 issues. And honestly, I'm just trying to come up with things to improve upon, because I always like to have improvements on things. Nothing is perfect, at least not for everyone. Someone's always going to have gripes. It's very hard with this rifle because everything on it is fantastic. Something I noticed when I first had it is there's no aftermarket for this specific rifle for charging handles, because a lot of people talk about the charging handle being loose, just flopping around in there doing its thing. That's really not an issue for me, but it is an issue for some people not liking that solid connection. For me, I actually wanted a new charging handle, something larger, because when you go to grab it, it's only big enough for your pinky. So when you go to grab it like this, you're just pinkying it back. So I wanted something a little bit larger, but when I looked online, I cannot find anything aftermarket that fits in there. As easy as that would be to get some larger charging handles, or I guess better fitting ones, it's a tiny piece. It should be very easy to make. It's out of metal. Someone get on that. All right, guys, I can't really think of anything else. Those are my gripes. Besides those things, I love this. This is probably one of my favorite weapons that I have shot, just because of how simplistic and how easy it is to shoot. No recoil, it's quiet, it's comfortable, it's simple. It uses a 22, so it's cheap to shoot when you want to go have fun. It does have this lower end, which is one of my favorite bits. After I put this thing on, it just completely changes the rifle. I love it. I absolutely love it. Zero mechanical issues with it. So if you do find one of these at Walmart or a sporting goods store and you don't have one, it's like $100 and it is fantastic. So like I said, check out my cleaning video, check out my other videos. I have got a bunch more that I'm gonna be making soon, so stay tuned for those, and I'll see you guys in that next video.